today for this special day for Sam and Andy. Those who've travelled a long way, especially. Can you hear me? This is my friend in the corner there.
There's always one.
Later on. I'd like to thank those of you who bought new outfits, new suits, new clothes, new dresses, new underwear, perhaps for some of the girls. And around the room there are dotted one or two new cars. All for my lovely daughter. I also need to thank the hotel, Larry, the caterers, everybody in fact. What a fantastic place this is. It really is. Yeah. But I'm not very good at doing this. I've had some very encouraging words from friends and family. My wife said to me that some people aren't really meant to give speeches. She followed that by saying that I'm all of them. My friends in the corner said that I should feign illness and sit down. But given the gathering here today, I'm not going to get away with that, am I? Too many doctors. A few weeks ago, my wife Tina came down to London to accompany Sam for a fitting for her dress. What a beautiful dress. And when she came back home up north, she said to me, "You won't believe how stunning Sam looks." And I thought, well, that's just her mother talking. But when I saw her So how did Sam get to be what we see before? She was our firstborn, so, you know, it's a bit tricky. We were quite young, weren't we, Tina, really?
Very young.
Sam was born on Halloween. And Tina went along to the local nursing home, and the midwife said to her, "Trick or treat," and Tina's adamant, she said treat. Sam was a very energetic baby, child, teenager, the whole thing. From the day that she was born, she was really quite a handful. Couldn't sleep, car rides anywhere and everywhere just to shut her up. Do you still have baby bouncers? You hang on to the door frame. You used to plonk her in that, and you can picture her now. She used to be quite chubby and short.
We can't picture that.
Big fat cheeks and big brown eyes staring at you going, oh. Better than television. With this energy, we decided we had to do something about it, so we enrolled her for gym, ballet, drama, anything and everything to try to have a bit of time to ourselves. But of course, we had to take her, bring her back, and when she came home, she would always insist on doing what she'd done at the class with us again. And if you ignored her, this was what Sam did. Not an exaggeration. This exhibitionist streak continued as she started to get into a sort of, the 5 to 10 years old stage. I remember going to bed on the steps once, and they have a sort of child dining thing there where you get your kids into bed by 6, 7, having fed them. And then you can have a nice dinner with your partner, or in my case, wife, actually. And there we were having dinner, when who should arrive in the dining room but Sam, which wasn't that bad, but she was naked. So whether it's a hotel thing, you may hang around tonight and get the same dose. Anyway, eventually, off she went to university. What a relief. But she came home. End of every term she came home, and we had really good discussions, Sam and I, about her budget. I suppose really that's a euphemism for we had the most dreadful row. There were plus points. She had some really attractive lady friends who she brought home. One in particular who's not here tonight, thank you, was called Emma. And Emma was a stunning young lady, about 20, 21 years old. She had the habit of walking around my house in her underwear, even walking into the bathroom when I was having a bath, having a chat with me. True? That was.
We dream.
after what seemed like a couple of decades, but probably just a handful of years, she eventually qualified as a doctor. Now, it was a relief because it had cost a shitload of money. We were also very proud of her. So we changed our answer phone at home. Our answer phone now reads, "Hi, sorry we can't take your call. Our daughter's a doctor." But we still love her, and she's, she stayed down south, which was quite sad for her. She stayed in London for a while, then she moved over to this part of the south. But she's already identified a retirement home for us, so she expects when we eventually get to be too old to cope for ourselves up north. I'll come back to Sam in a moment. I've got a few quick words about Andy. Andy first came to meet us and we gave him the full meet the pockets treatment. And he passed that with flying colours. Our next experience of Andy was he came on holiday with us, and really we didn't see them, did we? They were like on their own on the beach. People were walking past them on the beach and shouting, "Get a room." The other thing about these two together is, of course, they're into all these extreme sports, aren't they? Hence the camper van we have now. We're now going to do it with style. But whenever I've been around, they're going to go windsurfing or kite flying or whatever it is you do, or mountain bike riding. It's either too hot, too cold, too
No
windy,
wind.
too hungover.
Generally that
I'm going to be nice, and I have to read this because I'm sorry to read, but I had to choose the words very carefully. And I've written down here, I'm going to read all of this. We could not wish for Sam to have married a nicer all-round person. Andy is easygoing. Tina put him the way he probably needs to be.
No comment.
Friendly, hard-working, and a bit of a hunk of an action man. That's why it was written down. Right, that was my first no,
you've done 3.
It would be wrong to let this evening go by without marking it in some way, so I've had a poem written, a commemorative poem, which I have here, which is my additional gift to you guys. And I'm going to read it to you now. It's called Dr. Sam. Down in Old Winchester, above the busy streets, they wend their way at close of day unto the quaint retreat, where lives the voodoo doctor, by some esteemed a sham, yet I'll declare there's none elsewhere so skilled as Dr. Sam. In skin-related ailments, I hear that she excels, and she assures immediate cures of weird, uncanny cells. The most unruly patient gets docile as a lamb, and is freed from ill by the potent skill of hoodoo Dr. Sam. They say when nights are gruesome, and ours are oh so late, Doc Sam steals out and hunts about for charms that hoodoos hate. A case of Grand Cru Chablis, a tip-top Sainsbury's man, the tongue of an angry dragon, and a Volkswagen camper van. It's clear to me, and I think it's clear to all of us in this room, that these two are seriously an item. They make a fantastic couple. And I therefore ask you all to raise your glasses and toast. Sam and Andy.
Sam and Andy.